Hello, my fellow crafters. Welcome to my Q1 crafty wrap-up of everything that I knit and crochet and cross-stitched in 2026 so far. I will go over finished objects first. I don't have a lot of the stuff that I finished, so I'll put up pictures, videos of everything that I finished. I started the year off by finishing a Stockholm hat by Petite Knit. I chose this beanie because I wanted a stockinette beanie that I could duplicate stitch onto the brim. It was my first time duplicate stitching. That was exciting. It's a first for a lot of things this year, which is good. I like it. I enjoyed doing that actually quite a bit. It kind of felt like a coloring book because I did like the whole outline first. And making the graph, I have to say, was not very fun. I didn't enjoy that part, but it's fine. It was cute. It turned out good. I wanted a little silly goose hat, and I got that. The yarn that I used was Juniper Moonform's Patagonia, and honestly, I feel like too thin for a beanie. It is the recommended yarn, though. I'm pretty sure the whole thing is just DK weight. And honestly, for the brim, it's fine. It's a folded brim. I did make the goose upside down the first time that I did it on accident, so that was fun and exciting. But it's just like, I want a beanie to be squishy, and this beanie is not squishy. So I gave it away to a friend of mine, and hopefully he wears it. Fingers crossed, because they're super cute. I love the little pom-pom that I gave to the tiny goose hat. It turned out adorable. I really like how it looks. After that, I made a little crochet cat for my friend's birthday, and that turned out super cute. I'm gonna put up a picture of the actual cat too, because her cat is adorable. Like, such a fun, unique coloring and just gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous cat. So I made that. That was fun. I then did a lot of crocheting for Minneapolis specifically. I worked with Crafty Mama Mir and Helping Hands Minnesota for everything that was happening, and that was good. Mentally, I feel like it felt right, like that was the only thing I wanted to be working on. I will say I crocheted 8 beanies and 2 scarves in like the span of a week, and my wrist was killing me, and it was not fun. But I'm very happy that I did it. The yarn that I used, and the crochet hook. I got myself quite a large crochet hook for it. I used a 9mm with Lion Brand's Wool Ease Thick and Quick, which I was able to get pretty cheap off of Marketplace. So that was really fun. I did a ribbed crochet for the first time, which was good. I really like how they turned out. They turned out very squishy, very perfect. Honestly, so easy. They turned out really good. I'm proud of myself for those. I did a folded brim, double crochet beanie, and all I did for the top part was slip stitch the last 3 stitches for the top so that it would lay flat, because otherwise it was just kind of like making a bit of a point, and I didn't want that. So yeah, I'm very pleased with how those turned out. I used 1 ball of yarn for the beanies, and then I used 2 balls of yarn for the scarves, and the scarves turned out really good. I made sure to make them a really long length, so that was really good. I'm very proud of myself for doing that. It did cause a lot of wrist pain, but it was good. I'm glad I did it. Then honestly, most of February, because of a whip that I'm working on that also caused wrist pain, I just truly had to take a break, which was wild and horrible and not fun at all. It was the first time I had to take a break, like, ever in my life, like a hard break, like no knitting, no crocheting. And it was really sad, and I was a big baby about it. And honestly, now I take breaks like it's nobody's business. Now I'm like, if I'm a little bit even remotely uncomfortable when I'm working on my craft, I'm like, all right, break time. We're gonna take a break, because I'd rather take a like 5 to 30 minute break now, or just like stop for the evening, then have to take like, I don't know, 3 to 4 weeks off, at least. Oh, yeah, no, not fun. Anyway, after that, I had made the first project that I have with me. I taught a class for the Lakes cardigan, which is this beautiful saddle shoulder cardigan by Ozetta, and I love it so freaking much. I'll put it on so I can show you guys. There's stuff that I like and don't like about it. I made it a tad too cropped, which causes it to rise up in the back. Oops. By the time that I realized, one, I had run out of yarn, and also that's it. I ran out of yarn. I did run out of yarn for the button band, but do you see how like there's a contrast right here with this color? I feel like it's fine for a button band to have a different dye lot, but I don't think it would be fine if I randomly started like striping at the bottom of the cardigan, but that's okay. That's okay. The yarn is Malabrigo Bursted, and it is so soft. It was so soft to work with the whole time, and I've never seen it like in stores. I feel like I just saw it on Wool & Co, and honestly the only reason I picked it was that it was worsted, and they had it in this gorgeous pink. And this is the color Damask Rose, and I'm obsessed with this pink. It is so perfect. I love it so much. These buttons are so freaking cute. A different local yarn shop had it, and they're like these embroidered buttons, and I love them. What I don't love is that my placement of the buttons, because this is a little bit cropped, this button is too high, which is okay, except it's not okay. What's going on? That's not fun. That's not fun. I'm really bummed about that. So when I go to button it, I have to button the second one and then like the rest of them down as well. And I think that's fine, but like, that's sad. I am making another one for a different class that I am teaching again. So I'll make sure to not make that mistake again. But it's a really fun cardigan to work on. The saddle shoulder turns out so gorgeous. I love that we have this collar, and then you have 2 button bands that you have to work after this collar. Now I do love that, but for me personally, I messed up this button band 5 different times. Like I fully blocked it, and then I had to redo it because the amount of stitches was not the same on both sides, and it was driving me crazy. It was a wild like week of unraveling and redoing and unraveling and redoing. And I was probably just tired and needed to take a break before redoing it. But it was one of those things where I was like, I'm so close to being done that I think we just power through. And I'm glad I did. So yay. But yeah, I really like this. It is starting to pill, which I think is fine because I have been wearing it a lot, but it is pilling like a lot. It's pilling a lot. I'll deal with that later. I'm not too bothered. But yeah, I would have made it, I would say like 2 inches longer if I could, because a big thing for this year is not making everything ultra cropped because, well, I used to do that all the time. And this year we're not making everything ultra cropped. There's something to that pattern specifically where it also just needs to be longer because the back rises a bit. I did all of the short row shaping in the back that she has in the pattern, but I have seen other people with cropped Lakes cardigans or Lakes jackets that have like it rise in the back, and I feel like it could be a look. It's not the look I was going for, but that's fine. It's fine. I just won't do it again. It's fine. My last finished project, I don't have. I was teaching a Chunky Monkey beanie class. I made 2 of them last year. How fun are these? These are so fun. And also like such luxe, like Surrey pom-poms. I love the pom-poms on these. I taught a beginner's class and I was a little wary of it just because I only had 3 classes, and normally my classes are 2 hours long, but I figured there isn't that much to it. So I made them an hour and a half long for 3 classes. and everybody finished their beanies, which was very exciting. But the one that I made, I'll put a picture up. I made it for my friend Naomi. I made this little pom-pom from like scraps that I had, and it gave a very denim look, and she saw it too, so she picked out the yarn, and it was so fun to work with, and I had a jolly time. So I'm glad that I made that. It turned out so cute. I love it so much, and it's so soft and so squishy. So there's that. Let's talk about my whips so far. I have this Luma pullover that I've been working on since like November of last year. It's looking real good. I finished a sleeve. This one was kind of tough to work on my own time because it is one of those things. I'm making it for AJ, and I had to keep trying it on him to be like, how's the length? How's the length now? So I had to keep waiting for him to like be around and be willing to put this on. That, and I did have to unravel the whole colorwork yoke after I finished it the first time because I didn't like the yarn that I was working with. I had, for the yellow, I had a superwash yarn and everything else is non-superwash, and it was driving me crazy. I was like, it's not going to block right. So I switched to this Cascade Marrakesh for the yellow. My kitten just jumped into a box. I'm so sorry. Bert, what are you doing? I'm using Cascade Marrakesh for the yellow, 220 for the body and for the orange, and something that I just had around for the white. I wish that the yellow was also 220. I'm holding two strands together of the Marrakesh, and it feels unnecessary, but I was so adamant on like, this is the yellow that I want for this sweater, so it's the yellow I got. But I did need to get a second ball of the Marrakesh yarn, and it's like $30 a skein, which feels a little excessive for a colorwork portion of a sweater, but it's fine. It's fine. We're here now, and I'm so close to being done. I feel like the second sleeve can be worked up pretty quickly because I already have sleeve 1, so I know everything that needs to go into sleeve 2. If you can hear my neighbor's dog barking, so can I, and I'm not happy about it either. Come on, what are we doing? What are we doing? This year, Naomi and I, my friend that knits, crochets, does everything under the sun, we have quarterly projects, which is very exciting. Our Q1 project was this blanket. I'll put up a picture of what a finished panel looks like, but basically what we wanted to do is have quarterly projects this year. So we picked a crochet blanket as the first one, and it's got 4 Tunisian crochet panels, and then it has like, each panel has a border, and then all 4 panels also have their own border. And it's meant to be this gorgeous blanket, right? Except Tunisian crochet gives me crazy wrist pain, like crazy. It hurts so bad. And like that, along with the crochet beanies and hats that I made, my carpal tunnel, out of this world. It was wild. It was wild, and it was so not fun. It hurts so bad to Tunisian crochet that much. I feel like that on top of the 10 like crochet beanies and hats that I made, beanies and scarves that I made, it just was too much for my wrist, and it forced me into a rut. It forced me into sadness, and it forced me to take a break, and it wasn't fun. It was not fun. But I was also kind of pushing myself because my sister wants one as well. So I was working on one for myself and one for my sister, and we've decided to put it on hold until next year because we have decided to make the Project Hail Mary cardigan in lieu of this. So we'll just be making that instead, and this can be a next year project. I would like to finish my sister's this year, so I want to finish one of the blankets this year and then work on my blanket next year. I don't know if that's actually going to happen or if it's wishful thinking, but it's a plan, it's a goal. So there's that. I also started teaching another Lakes cardigan class, and I'm using this Juniper Moon Farms cotton merino. I've got the back panel done, got my saddle shoulders. I'm obsessed with this color, this like lemony, springy yellow. It's so fun. It's so sunny and buttery, and I just love it so much. I love this color. I have been afraid of this color for like the longest time. I was just like, oh, I don't know with my skin tone and if it's gonna like wash me out or whatever, but I like it a lot. It's going really well so far. I really like this pattern. I'm definitely going to be making it plenty long. I'm going to make it long enough for sure. And yeah, the class is going great so far. And I'm having a really fun time with it. On Sunday, I get to work on the front panels once I teach them. So that'll be very fun. I'm also working on my very first sample knit where I'm working with this Juniper Moon Farm Fairy Floss. And it's I want to say an Aran weight, quite thick self-striping yarn in an unreleased color, which is exciting. I will say working on a sample knit, it's fine. It's fun. It's a job. But not being able to talk about it, kind of a bummer in terms of like what I'm actually making. I can show you guys part of what I'm making, and it kind of is giving like Monet rainbow fish. Would we agree on that? I would agree on that because I cannot unsee it now. So Monet rainbow fish she is. So there's that. It's cute. And I can't tell you anything else about it. The gauge is very thick on this, so I'm getting to work on pretty big needles, which I like. It's working up pretty quickly. And that's on that. That is it. Those are all my whips. I am wanting to finish the sweater pretty quickly because it's a little chilly today. It's a little cloudy and it's been so hot. So I want to work on it. I want it to be done. I want to be able to block it, weave in all the ends and be done with that whip because I have so many goals for spring and summer. And that will be the next thing that I film is everything that I want to make in Q2 of 2026. So look out for that. But until then, happy crafting. What's your favorite thing that you made this year? I would say mine is the beanie, honestly. I love how that beanie turned out. I know it's just a beanie, but it's really cute. The denim one specifically, the super chunky one. I like it. I like it a lot. Anyway, I'll catch up with you guys next time and happy crafting.